Welcome back to the show, everybody. Professional wrestling, world wrestling entertainment, the WWE. Yeah, we do that thing here where I talk about a pay-per-view after I watch it. Why do I do this to myself? I've been asking myself this question for 2 years now, and I still don't know. Regardless of that, more positive news, right? This was actually a really good pay-per-view, given all of the what's the word I want to use? Oh, fuckery. There we go. That's the perfect word. Because Survivor Series, especially the past couple of years, when it's been brands against each other and things like that, and it's like you sit feuds down temporarily, then pick them back up the following Monday on Raw after this is over, but because of Evolution, because of All Money 2, and then the build up of 2 weeks that you have is that it wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a bad build up to this because, how can I respectively say this? Becky Lynch is the most amazing thing happening in pro wrestling today. She's the man in general, period. Do I need to say any more? Probably not. Because that would lead into the whole invading of Raw thing where Nia Jax bust her open, which then led to Charlotte stuff, which we'll get into. In other news, a man having cancer has sat up here and led the Authors of Pain to be the Raw Tag Team Champions and more things that don't make sense. Damn it, the Revival win, I don't know. And then there's the rest of this pay-per-view. But I figured I'd want to, pre-space with all this information because, again, I expected to sit down to this pay-per-view and be overtly pissed off at this shit that I'm watching. And I walked out of it more entertained given what happened. The big giant elephant in the room that we might as well talk about it, Daniel Bryan, right? That was the other thing that concerned me. When after Oil Money 2 had ended or whatever, trying to figure out do we really want to see AJ get murdered by Brock Lesnar again? And the answer is, I'm always down for a Brock Lesnar rape case. I'm like, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Brock gonna get in there and do what Brock do. Spoilers for later. But yeah, Daniel Bryan won the championship, and it's going to be a great and wonderful heel turn for this Miz stuff is coming. It's when I really legitimately think about it, it's a question that I've had 4 months. How the hell do you believably get the title off AJ? And then do something with it. Well, the all ultimate of Daniel Bryan sitting up here and destroying the Miz at WrestleMania is about to become for reals and not for plays. So there's all that too. So all of that set up for something great. I'm like, hell, even Becky Lynch continued to be the man on SmackDown. Yo, Charlotte, go in there and go handle my lightweight for me because my nose is busted open and I had a concussion. I can't go take a night. So there's that too. And then there are other things. But regardless, I have done enough talking. Let's talk about this pay-per-view. Now, here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about this pay-per-view, right? There's this thing. It's called a kickoff show, right? You want to know the lesson we all learned about the kickoff show? If you got 50 Bentley in the West Indies, it doesn't matter because it sure didn't matter. In the grand scheme of things. It was the Tag Team Survivor Series elimination match. It was a thing, and I really hate to think about this because thinking about the match as I watched it, it's this is the representation of both tag team divisions on both Raw and SmackDown, and it's the Bar, the champions, thanks to, I don't know, Big Show, the author of Pains of Champions, because as we mentioned, a man got cancer, so it's just that's all I got. SmackDown won, but again, you got 50 Bentleys in the West Indies. It doesn't matter because it don't. So how about we just pretend the match didn't happen because WWE show did. So moving right along. Okay. Here's the thing. The women's eliminations match, right? The majesty of this women's ever in suffix illusion. Yeah, suffix illusion. We could talk about this match too, but why? Like, I'm not sitting up here again, and this is not the part where I, shit on women's wrestling and all that they've done. But this was a decent match. But in the grand scheme of what this legitimately means is the following: Nia Jax is the new Big Show. This scares me. Not in that way. Just listen to Uncle Triple, right? If this is the way they wish to use my bae Nia Jax, fine, whatever. But it kind of scares me for what's coming, because you really got to think about Nia Jax has a future opportunity to face Ronda Rousey, who we will talk about a little bit later. So you really have to sit up here and legitimately think, like, what's really happening there. Is that if we're going to take the moment right now before we get to what happened later between Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey, or whatever the hell she calls herself with that face paint on her neck. The state of the SmackDown Women's Division. Whatever it is that's going to happen after the man versus Charlotte Flair, I'm looking at the women in the ring and it's kind of, what are you really going to do? Because my bae Asuka is just in a corner because she can't speak complete English, so I'm less caring here. And then you got other people who wrestle and are lesbians, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. That's where we are. I am completely and utterly unsure where the SmackDown Women's Division sits after we get the man versus Charlotte Flair, like maybe 5-6 more times, maybe, before they figure out what their direction is. But I know it doesn't involve the direction that I want it to go, so I won't sit on the internet and complain. Match was great anyway, so again, hopefully they really try to do something for real with Nia Jax, because it's like when I think about like her reign as champion and what she's done since then and this heel turn currently, she looking to be that Big Show. You don't know what side she on, but then we're in the year 2018 talking about wrestling. Is it really about heels and faces at this point, or is it just about people? Who knows? Oh, yeah, in other news, one of my dream matches delivered. That boy, the King Slayer, aka Burn That Down, versus the United States of Nakamura, baby. They put on a show. I'm like, given the whole card of this pay-per-view, this was the match I was looking forward to, because non-secret, I enjoy watching Seth Rollins wrestle. And another non-secret, I have enjoyed Shinsuke Nakamura being the king of strong style for a very long time. So to see two of my favorite dudes go in for real in a very rare way, it delivered. It delivered. Seth Rollins ultimate won by putting Shinsuke Nakamura's face in a mat, which, with that curb stomp, which I've been questioning for a while, like, why all of a sudden they let him use the stomp again. But I guess, I should bring up that gif of Big E getting curb stomp on Martin Luther King Day. I have no shame. You should know this when you come watch this shit. I ain't got no shame. I ain't gonna pretend that I do. Business is what it is. So, great match overall. Killed it. I can't really say any more about that match other than, as a dream match, as a wrestling fan that I want to see, it delivered. And that's all I can really say about that. Do we really want to talk about AOP versus the Bar? No, I don't. Do I want to take a second and talk about the certified G sitting up here making the show? We can talk about that for a second. We can literally talk about a man got fired from his job for no reason, because we live in a world where you are guilty until proven innocent, and it's just like, I don't know. Do I want to talk about Drake Maverick pissing his pants? I don't want to do that either. I just don't. But let's get back to Zoe. Pozo. I'm like, I heard Big Ass can kind of get work. I've heard that he's done a couple of indie days since he got released, but Zoe can't get no love. Like, his music alright. But it's a shame the man can't wrestle because some woman said something. And I'm not finna turn this into some mystical me too debaters and shit. But again, I have to remind myself sometimes. For even if nobody ever watches this, so when I watch this back later to say this, we live in a world where somebody can say something about you and it can shut your whole career down. And it's just like, it's a shame. It's a shame that Zoe had to buy tickets to a pay-per-view to get attention for his album, which I haven't listened to yet, because that's the only way you can stay relevant in the game, because somebody's words took away what you did. Like, we gonna talk about the cruiserweight division in a very short order in a second, but I just want to just go out and say that it's a shame Zoe got did the way that he did, but it's a lot of other things that surround Enzo Amore when it comes to the WWE that's more than what that lady said about him allegedly or whatever. But that's kind of on him. But at the end of the day, it's whatever. This match was fucking stupid, by the way, and it makes no sense why the authors of Pain aren't the champion. I don't know, because see, here's the answer, and here the answer's been for a year and some change now, the motherfucking Revival. So I'm gonna shut up, okay? I'm gonna be quiet. I'm not gonna talk about this anymore. I'm just an angry wrestling fan who's mad that his favorite tag team isn't the champion. So the end. Oh, speaking of the cruiserweight division, yo, I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this straight up. But I'm like Buddy Murphy that made me a believer. As someone who doesn't pay attention to 205 Live in any relevant way whatsoever, whenever the cruiserweights come through, the last couple of times, when Buddy Murphy won the championship at Super Showdown, which I thought was gonna be some really one and done, you win it in your hometown and yeah, you win or whatever, because the Iconics won the same way. But from what I heard, Buddy Murphy been killing it though. And him and Mustafa Ali, they put on a clinic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had me sitting up here like, man, I'm like, it's 9-6, I'm watching WCW. It's like, first hours, them cruiserweights, they can't cruiserweight, brother. But I gotta say, yo, I'm like, match was hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't even deny that. Again, like I say, I don't pay attention to 205 Live because I only have so many hours in the day to do things. But this match brought that heat. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. And it's like, it's gonna be interesting to really see like what they building with that boy Buddy Murphy. So it should be interesting to see. It's like the more and more I watch these cruiserweight matches on pay-per-views, the more and more I really want to try to get invested in 205 Live. We'll see. We'll see. But great show by both men. I appreciate y'all taking y'all time to do that. Yeah. This was a thing. Raw versus SmackDown. At some point, Braun Strowman just power slammed people, and that was it. In this, there's a Drew McIntyre Finn Balor feud here, and Shane McMahon jumps off of things. Rey Mysterio is still wrestling, and Joe is never going to be champion. So, man. It's all I got. That's it. You thought you were looking for something here. Match was decent, but I sit up here and it's like I'm more look at this as, why didn't they just put the championship on Braun Strowman, when what's his face got the cancer? See, I'm trying not to make jokes about a grown man having fucking cancer and having to walk away from his job. But this grown man having cancer has done a lot to immediately affect this thing that I watch, so I have to be honest. I don't know. But it was a three-way anyway at Crown Jewel before Roman Reigns got the cancer, so who knows what would have happened? Would Roman have retained in some kind of coonery? I don't know. But here's what I do know. I watched the men's elimination match, and it's just like, I sat there and watched it, and I sit here and question, why is this even happening? Not understanding that all of the weirdness that goes with this, because it's a match that happens on a pay-per-view, but seeing that, some of these people within the past maybe 2 months or so have been done dirty. One of these people in this match is going to be headlining WrestleMania, possibly, that being missed, and the rest of these people are just here. I don't know what you want from me because I could talk about the match. Match was good. How about that? Braun Strowman power slam people. Underlining point. And I sit here again and I think about the competitors in this match, and it's kind of like, well, this is a waste of a whole bunch of y'all. I'm like, if I'm going to say this while this is on my mind while I'm thinking about it, they didn't wasted Bobby Lashley. They really could have literally set him up to beat Brock Lesnar so Brock Lesnar could go fuck his wife and milk a cow, but no. But the good thing is that the more Leo Rush, the better, I guess. So, you have your upsides and your downsides with that, but still, at the end of the day, it's like you really didn't really do nothing from this for real that has anything for momentum other than Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor, and it's kind of like, well, yay for you, I guess. I don't know. Oh, boy. Dream match again. Would somebody like to tell me what's in the water on SmackDown? Because what the fuck, right? Let me sit up for this. Let Uncle Triple sit up for this. I gotta sit up for this, right? This is one of the best matches I have watched in a very long time. I didn't sit up here and have my doubts that Ronda Rousey, who was continually amazing me every time that woman steps in the ring, and who could be one of the greatest, not female wrestlers, but wrestlers period, when it's all said and done, is Charlotte Flair. Here is the one problem I have with this. Regardless of if or when on this pay-per-view, this is a WrestleMania main event and you getting it at Survivor Series. Because Nia Jax sat up her and hit her with a WMD to the man's face. That's my only problem with this match, legitimately. That it's on Survivor Series. Now, if that is the only nitpick I have about a wrestling match, that says a lot about the wrestling match. Cause again, let me say this once more. Ronda Rousey continues to amaze me every time she gets in the ring. Charlotte Flair been doing what she been doing for years now. The thing that I loved about this match was mega smash mouth. Like, Charlotte normally wrestles with some flair, legitimately, pun intended. Charlotte Flair went in that match to whoop Ronda Rousey's ass. And I'm not talking about, like, whooping a motherfucker's ass. I mean, a motherfucker's ass is getting whooped, son. Like, that was crazy. Like, Cause how do I describe what it is that I'm trying to say? I don't want to sit up here and say, to dumb it down. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Lupe. I don't want to say that. What I want to say is that, no, you know what? Charlotte Flair showed, and I quote, ruthless aggression. See, shout out to John Cena. Ruthless aggression. And I'm like, I like seeing that. It's like lately, especially with her feud with Becky, you have seen a lot of this come out of her because Becky has brought that out. And given it, even though that this ended up being a wild storytelling piece for the immediate future of one Charlotte Flair, it had to end the way that it did. That even normally, when finishes happen the way they do in matches like these, normally I just be like, the fuck? But in this instance, Uncle Triple's down with you because it makes sense. Because regardless of what Charlotte Flair ended up doing to Ronda Rousey, which was, and I quote, fucking that bitch's shit up, literally, is the man would have done that and then some. So as a perfect stand-in for exactly what was probably planned to happen, because this is professional wrestling, Charlotte Flair brought that heat, and that is going to be major as we get to the end of what Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch is going to be. The thing is that Ronda Rousey winning in this way again because you gotta protect that until you set up her and set her up for a giant major fall to whoever it is you decide you're going to do this to, probably Charlotte Flair herself. Is Ronda Rousey immediately has Nia Jax in her rear view right now, slowly approaching and getting close on some Spy Hunter shit because I have randomly been thinking about Spy Hunter lately. And Battle Formula, which you know better as Super Spy Hunter, but you know that's video game stuff. But regardless, Ronda Rousey, ever since she became the champion, I've had the one question, the same question that before last Tuesday I had about AJ Styles. To quote a great man, how do you want to do this, right? Shout out to Matt Mercer. Like, how are you going to do this? Like, how are you going to unseat Ronda Rousey? So, I guess the answer is in a throwback text. It's called a motherfucking taser law. No. Is that we watch wrestling, at least when it comes to the globe that is the WWE, where you put your head in it and only the WWE matters, is you have to find some legitimate way to get the title off of Ronda while keeping Ronda strong. And, well, the WWE is very hit or miss on actually making that happen. Example, Asuka Bay. Yeah, we build Asuka up and then we feed her to Charlotte because, well, Charlotte needs that. And, well, no. No. Right? So, this is the question. What do you do with Ronda Rousey? That's the question. And it's like the WWE is going to have to come up with some legitimate, acceptable answer because will the answer be believable? Probably fucking not. But it'll be interesting to see what y'all do. I am more ready to see what SmackDown got because of how this pay-per-view ended to really see like what's up with Charlotte and what's up with the man Becky Lynch. Oh, and let me remind you, this match was really fucking good. And I'm glad this match was really fucking good. I'm just sad that it was on Survivor Series. That's it. I have no more to say other than that. This was a dope match. If you want to pick a match to watch, and there's one. If you're not going to watch, if you're going to watch United States of Nakamura versus the Kingslayer, should probably be this. Or you have another option, our main event. Brock Lesnar molested Daniel Bryan, but it was mutual. It was a mutual molestation because Brock Lesnar. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Let's just quickly talk about this because, you know, we've got real news to get to, right? Listen to me very closely. Last Tuesday, Daniel Bryan became the WWE champion, and something we talked about at the beginning of how the hell do you believably get the title off AJ Styles because you don't want to see AJ Styles go in there and go get raped by Brock Lesnar, who would rather go home and fuck his wife and milk some cows, right? So Daniel Bryan becomes the champion, and again we talked about this earlier with this wild ass heel turn, which I honestly, legitimately kind of saw coming up to that lead up until Daniel Bryan won the damn title in an amazing match on SmackDown, damn it. Like, I'll say this, Daniel Bryan and the boy AJ Styles, they didn't want none. Put on a clinic last week, and it's like, I understand and I get it. Oil Money 2, Evolution, blah, blah, blah. Build up to Survivor Series. I get it. It's just that the thing is that the question that I always had is that, again, and I've said this like, 4 times in this review of how was you legitimately, believably going to get the title off AJ Styles? Well, we need to rush this because we need a different match. Hell, I think here's what would have been dope. If Brock Lesnar just said, I'm not wrestling AJ Styles, he was still the champion, and just took his ball and went home and just came back more on Monday, like I automatically win because I'm Brock Lesnar, fuck you. That'd have been dope. But you need a wrestling match, and you need it against Daniel Bryan. Here's the thing. even with Brock Lesnar getting that permission to, penetrate Daniel Bryan into Suplex City, bitch, is this match was hella entertaining because we got a chance to demo what this new Daniel Bryan is gonna be. I like it a lot. Two thumbs up, bitch. Two thumbs up and a middle finger. This. Some variation of this, I guess. I like what I saw. I enjoy and appreciated what this match was. There were moments when I legitimately thought Daniel Bryan was going to beat Brock Lesnar because that's what I honestly thought the result was going to be. Because, see, in my own head, that's what kind of made sense in storytelling. That Daniel Bryan be the one to beat Brock Lesnar, go back, shove it in AJ Styles, like, ha, bitch, I whooped his ass and you didn't because you was a bitch. And do that, and that didn't happen. They not gonna book Brock Lesnar to lose against fucking Daniel Bryan. I'm just like, that's just the mystical, non-mystical, magical reality of you're not going to book Daniel Bryan to book Brock Lesnar. It's just not fucking happening, bruh. No. Just not a thing going to happen. No. Still don't change. The match was dope as fuck. Again, like, I was highly entertained, and the killer was, I was just as highly entertained of what happened at the end of the Charlotte Snap Fest, where I'm just like, I have never been so turned on and mortified in my life. Like, I'm sitting up here like, yes, this is hot, but at the same time, oh shit, a woman getting her ass whooped for real, and it was like, me ghosted, bitch. So coming off of that and coming into this, and it's like, yo, Daniel Bryan put on the show. I appreciate what we see, what this heel turn is going to be. Brock Lesnar do what Brock Lesnar do. Like, again, like I said, there were times in this match where I really thought Daniel Bryan was going to get him because I kind of figured that it kind of in my head when I tried to explain to myself, like, before I watched the match and as I was seeing how it was playing out, like, yo, you could literally book Daniel Bryan to win this match and do some dirt with it, but you're not going to book against Brock Lesnar. You're not. It's just not a thing you're going to do immediately. So, I just had that thought. Brock Lesnar going to be the champ for like another year and a half. Or whenever Roman get back from, Superman punching leukemia in the face or whatever. I don't know. But the good thing that comes out of all of this, Daniel Bryan, The Miz, main event WrestleMania. Because I don't know if it's going to be a main event, but that just depends on what the build to the Royal Rumble going to be. That's kind of the one question I got now that we're at the end of this pay-per-view and this match was amazing and shit, is what is the build going to be to the Royal Rumble? Because right now, anybody you put against Brock Lesnar finna get eaten for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dinner time snack. It would be nice for The Miz to have a Royal Rumble win under his belt. That'd be dope in this stage of his career, right? Because that's just what I want to see. I just want to see Daniel Bryan versus The Miz at WrestleMania. That's what I want. That's what I want as a fan, because that's the thing that makes sense, and that's just kind of where I'm feeling that they booking and leading to. But if Brock Lesnar is the champion, it don't legitimately matter what you do. It might be, you know what? Here's a hard prediction. Somebody from SmackDown is going to win the Royal Rumble. At least when it comes to the men superstars. The women, that's super open. It's like, given right now, you got the man, you got Charlotte, and you going to do something with that. And you got Ronda Rousey, you got Nia Jax, so you're going to do something with that immediately, and then you'll figure out something maybe. So, it's possible that when I think about that, just in hindsight, Alexa Bliss could possibly win the Royal Rumble. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. That Thicky Miss Bliss wins the Royal Rumble. If faces Ronda Rousey and then beats her, you could book that and it would make sense. Because as much as I love me some Nia Jax, that girl fine as hell. She knows she is. They're not booking her to win against Ronda Rousey. That's just not a thing. It's going to happen. Just no, totally not. So, we have an interesting build on the road to WrestleMania now because the Royal Rumble is like because we got TLC and then we got the Royal Rumble because TLC because that's what they was promoting all through the night of TLC, but I don't know whose pay per view that is. I don't know. I don't know whose pay per view TLC is because I can't for the life of me. It's been so many of these glorified ass house shows I can't keep the fuck up anymore. So I'm not going to try. I would research it, but I don't feel like it. So when it's table, ladders, and chairs, we'll just figure out who the hell wrestling, and then I'll know my answer, right? Regardless, y'all, Survivor Series killed it. I'm like, as someone, you know what I'm saying, who enjoys this magical thing we call pro wrestling in the WWE bubble, I enjoyed what it was that I saw. Great pay-per-view, and I don't really get to say that a lot or at all, but given the quick build you had and again oil money and evolution and all that stuff, it put in the work. So it's gonna be good to sit down and catch up with Raw, and I'm probably gonna let SmackDown come on, watch them back to back and just see what it is, because it's going to be interesting to see, at least on the SmackDown side, because they got fucking straight 6-0. Well, technically you won one, but we talked about that at the beginning that it doesn't matter. Do 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 do. It doesn't matter. Do 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 do. It don't matter. You won on a kickoff show. It doesn't matter. So whatever. Look, we have got a giant news day right here on Team GRF TV. So man, y'all best to stay the fuck tuned. Uncle Triple told you. Sit back, relax, and stay tuned indeed, because I just told you that. Because, sit back, relax, stay tuned. I am the one no triple G.O.D, a.k.a. Yo Uncle Triple. We live right here on Team GRF TV, and we have got more show for you after these commercial messages. Still the best laughing, evil laughing in the business, baby. More show after these commercial messages.